What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update, fourth stimulus check update, and daily news report. I know a lot of you guys are excited today, as today is the day that many Social Security recipients are expected to receive your third stimulus check, your $1,400 per person. Let me and let our family, our community know down below in the comments if you got your $1,400 today. By the end of today, many Social Security recipients, people on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, have or should have received their direct deposits today. Of course, it won't be everybody, but the IRS did send out the fourth wave of direct deposits for the $1,400 on Friday. Many of you guys got that early, but now April 7th is the official date for the payday of that. And millions of people will be having to clear their bank accounts today and have the money available. But as you can see here on the screen, many veterans, people from the VA, will have to wait until mid-April. This is because Social Security and the VA had to send over the payment information to the IRS. If you don't file a tax return normally for 2020 or 2019, and you didn't use the IRS Get My Payment tool in the past when it was available, I don't even know why I'm sorry, not the Get My Payment tool, the IRS non-filer tool for people that don't normally file tax returns. I don't know why they don't have that tool open right now. Somebody should make that tool available because, and for the next stimulus check, the fourth stimulus package, I really feel like they need to reopen that non-filer tool. I don't know why it's not open, but yeah. So the reason why Social Security and the VA have been delayed is because, well, if the IRS doesn't have your information on file from a 2020 or a 2019 tax return, or you filled out the IRS non-filers tool, they can't send you a stimulus check. So Social Security and the VA have to send them over fresh data. They can't use old data from the second stimulus check last year, and that is what caused the delay. However, the vast majority of people, except for people on Veterans Affairs, people who served our country, thank you, by the way, for doing that. You're greatly appreciated. But unfortunately, VA seems to be last in line, and that is because the VA didn't send the information over to the IRS in as timely as a fashion. The reason Social Security is getting it now is because Social Security took 12 days to send it over, then the IRS needed several days to do what they needed to do, and now the vast majority of people, I think about 90%, if I'm estimating here, of just the general population getting the third stimulus checks will have them now. We will be focusing more on upcoming stimulus provisions. There's so many things on the horizon: stimulus checks, Social Security increases, the new Medicare increases. Man, the stimulus checks, the reoccurring stimulus checks that they're pushing for, the child income tax credits. If you have children, you're literally going to get $3,000 to $3,600 per child for these child income tax credits, and they're looking to expand that for more than just this year. You should be super excited about that if you have children, because that is a huge amount of money, $3,000 to $3,600 per child. I'll be keeping you up to date on all these different upcoming rounds of stimulus and what could be in the next package, what might be done through standalone bills, Social Security increases, the Medicare increases, and really probably the most likely, well, student loan. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff that's likely going to happen, but the biggest one that could happen is these monthly stimulus checks that the Democrats are pushing for, and the support for that is growing every day. And now, because of the Senate parliamentarians ruling that they can pass two more stimulus packages or bills or infrastructure slash stimulus package bills through the reconciliation process and bypass the filibuster. This is really great news for stimulus. And this means that all these articles I have of Senate Democrats pushing for a fourth stimulus check in the form of monthly payments. Fourth stimulus check, Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren are pushing for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. Detroit Representative or Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib introduces a bill for a $2,000 stimulus check and then $1,000 monthly recurring stimulus checks. The Democrats can pass these on their own. And that's why this Senate parliamentarian ruling is so important, because they're basically saying that they can pass not one, but two more stimulus packages this year, and then another one for next year. So they will be able to get another one in October. And not only that, but Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer already kind of broke into his future plan. There's another provision in the laws that I'd have to go back and, because it's a very intricate thing. It's like line 142 of this portion and blah blah blah, right? What is important to know is that Chuck Schumer says that written within the law is that they can go back and amend the budget reconciliation process. So really that somewhat means that they can use this reconciliation process multiple different times in the future. So they can pass two more stimulus packages or infrastructure slash stimulus packages this year, and then they can really pass more, and then they get more next year. And then even if past that, if they need more than that, they can actually go back and just amend the previous ones to say, hey, remember that $1,400 third stimulus check? We're going to go back and amend that to say it's now $3,400, which means that the IRS is going to send out an additional $2,000 stimulus payment. So really, this is really great news if you're for stimulus, because this means that the Democrats can pass all these stimulus packages and bills completely on their own. And all they need to do is negotiate among themselves at this point. And the growing support, as I just showed you all those articles, every day there's just more and more Democrats coming out and saying, yeah, we do need more stimulus checks. And most of them are saying monthly recurring stimulus checks until the pandemic is over. The smallest stimulus check I'm seeing is $2,000 of the proposal. So we already know that President Biden's third stimulus check was the largest amount, $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, which was more than double the amount we've seen in the past of $500 to $600. And they included adult dependents and college student dependents this time around, which didn't even get the first and second stimulus check. So the third stimulus check was already the largest yet to date. And the fourth stimulus check they're pushing for is set to be even larger. So really, there's good news on the horizon. Also, if you can, hit the like button for me down below. It really helps out our channel. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below. It's completely free. I don't charge or anything like some people do, but it's completely free. This way you won't miss out on new video updates regarding the upcoming stimulus and all the other related items that we cover, like this one. Another thing on the fourth stimulus round is student loan forgiveness. And progressives are really putting pressure on President Biden to go ahead and actually do the mass student loan forgiveness. But also, they want him to, President Biden has said he's willing to cancel $10,000 of student loan forgiveness. They want him to go as high as $50,000. And they're really kind of amping up the pressure. We're seeing a lot of movement on student loan forgiveness. Here is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, probably the most powerful Democrat right now besides President Biden, and Elizabeth Warren. And by the way, they are both also the co-authors for the $200 per month Social Security increases. As you can see right here on Elizabeth Warren's Senate page, Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren and also Ron Wyden have unveiled a plan to increase benefits, Social Security benefits, by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. The plan to provide more than 60 million Americans with an additional $4,000 over 2 years is part of the Senate Democrats' bold Phase 3 stimulus proposal. So really, the two most important people you want to contact if you want to see them doing more movement on that is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren, as they're the co-authors of that bill. You can also tweet or email Ron Wyden, as you've seen there on the thing. But here is Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer on student loan forgiveness. And also, I personally think that this movement for student loan forgiveness is going to lead to other types of debt forgiveness in the future, because about 1 in 6 adults have student loans. It's like 45 million people, which is a lot. But really, it really begs the question to say, all right, if you're going to do $10,000 of student loan forgiveness for 1 in 6 adults, what about the other adults who don't have student loan forgiveness? Will you be willing to do medical debt forgiveness? Will you be willing to do credit card debt forgiveness? Will you be willing to do mortgage debt forgiveness or other types of debt forgiveness? Because really, if they're going to do this student loan debt forgiveness, it opens up the door of possibilities for all those things on the horizon. And that could be coming. That's one of the future stimulus items we may see. Here's Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Elizabeth Warren.
In America, we always believed that college was a ladder up, but with student debt, it can be an anchor weight down. My father was working class. He was an exterminator. I struggled to get through college, but when I got out, I didn't have any debt. College was much less expensive, and you could work and make a decent salary, and you didn't with debt. Now, so many people have a mountain of debt on their shoulders. Americans owe $1.7 trillion. 9 million former students are in default on their loans. Gets worse and worse and worse. And it just holds everybody back. It holds you back from deciding what path to pursue, to buy a car, to do so many other kinds of things. And it holds our economy back. And one of the amazing things about this is the racial wealth gap. Black and brown communities are shouldering a larger burden of the student debt. The average Black borrower owns more than 100% of their loan balance, even after 12 years of college. So this is not only a problem for the whole country, for the economy, and for students past and present and their families, but it's also part of the reason that we have such a division between Black and white and wealth and income. We want to solve all that. And we believe that President Biden legally has the authority to cancel up to $50,000 in student debt through executive action, a flick of a pen. That means Sabrina and Daryl and Kendrick and Taneva. You don't have to go through Congress. You don't have to worry about all that. He's done some good things, the president has, but we'd like him to go further. And we know, particularly now with COVID-19 ravaging the economy, so many people out of work, so many people having even more difficulty to pay their debt, that we ought to go do this right now.
Also, want to say regarding the $200 per month Social Security increase is that really we need to keep our eye on the prize, because if you want stimulus, the monthly stimulus checks of $1,000 to $2,000 per month, as we have two different bill proposals for this exact thing, as you can see here on the screen, this is $2,000 a month. So this is a lot more, 10 times more than $200 per month for Social Security. And remember, obviously, Social Security recipients would be receiving these stimulus checks. So really, this is the bigger of the two. So there's a lot of movement on these monthly stimulus checks right now. I literally can show you article after article after article after article that says that they're pushing for these stimulus checks. And we have around 100 different people from Congress right now that are pushing for this. So really, this is the larger of the two to push for these $2,000 recurring stimulus checks. Even if we get the $1,000 recurring monthly stimulus checks, these are the bigger of the two. So this is kind of the one we all want to root for and push for, write our senators about. It doesn't hurt to write them about the $200 per month Social Security increase, but really this is kind of the bigger eye on the prize thing that is in the near future. And they're pushing to do this in the infrastructure package. So this is what you need to show your support for, because, well, it's more money in your pocket. And by the way, Senators Bernie Sanders and Senator Elizabeth Warren, of course, but also Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are one of all those guys are included in the people pushing for not just one stimulus check in the next package, but actually monthly recurring stimulus checks in the next package. Also, let me talk for a minute about garnishments. I'm seeing a lot of people asking about garnishments. And yes, there can be some garnishments in the third package. And whatever happened in the third package likely will be the same scenario for the fourth stimulus check package. So let me explain how this works. Number one is, as you can see here on this screen, the third stimulus checks, and this will probably be the same for the fourth stimulus check, will be shielded from some debt, but still not private debt collectors. And as you can see here, I like to show my sources here so you guys know that what I'm saying is true. I know if you've been watching for a long time, you probably know this is true. But that's why I like to show this stuff on screen so you can see, hey, private debt collectors can seize your $1,400 stimulus checks, but they're shielded from some debt. That's some debt that they're shielded from is the government. The government cannot take your $1,400 stimulus checks. That includes Social Security and the IRS, or I'm sorry, not Social Security. I meant to say child support there. Child support cannot take your $1,400 stimulus check, and the IRS cannot take your $1,400 stimulus check. But private debt collectors can take your $1,400 stimulus check. Okay, so let me explain why this is. Number one, if you've been watching the show, the budget reconciliation process, the way they passed the third stimulus check package, and they're probably going to pass the infrastructure slash fourth stimulus check package, is through the budgetary reconciliation process. And they had to do this because the Republicans are doing a vote blockade right now, where they're not pretty much not voting for any bills underneath President Biden. We passed five stimulus packages underneath President Trump, but now all of a sudden that Biden's president for just literally 2 months or less, now all of a sudden the Republicans don't want to vote on any packages. Now they were kind of like this a little bit in under Trump. Remember, they did pass five stimulus packages, and Republicans voted for them all. They didn't pass any through reconciliation. They couldn't even do it underneath Trump because Mitch McConnell and the Republicans controlled the Senate, and Trump was president. So they had Republican. So five packages were passed under Trump, but now all of a sudden, underneath Biden, not a single Republican voted for the third package, and they won't even vote for the infrastructure package. And this is after they've only unveiled the physical infrastructure. They haven't even gotten into the next unveiling of the package, which they're calling the human infrastructure, which likely will end up seeing multiple stimulus provisions in there added before it's all said and done. Medicare expansion, extra health benefits, monthly stimulus checks. I mean, there's all sorts of things that could be in this package before all is said and done. They've only unveiled the physical infrastructure, and the Republicans have already said they're not going to vote for it. So I personally think that the Republicans are just basically on principle doing a Republican blockade. And to be fair, the Democrats did this to I've seen a comment from a couple viewers that said they did this to President Bush, and the Republicans did this in the past to President Obama underneath his first year. So both sides do this. I can't blame totally the Republicans. I do blame them for not being willing to vote for anything right now. They voted for five packages under Trump, and now all of a sudden for the sixth stimulus package, they don't want to vote for anything. I do feel like they're playing some partisan games there, but in all fairness, that just seems to be what they do in Congress because Democrats did that in the past to other presidents. And, well, it's Congress. So, if somebody's not lying, that you're the one that is wrong, right? I mean, there's so many metaphors I could probably talk about, in Congress. But yeah, they're always having agendas and playing games and stuff like that. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? I mean, if you're here, you're probably a fan of stimulus. And really, we just want to pass more help for the people. We're in a once in a 100-year pandemic. People want Social Security and SSDI. They live off a few $100s a month, and they're long overdue to get a little bit of extra help. And people, if you hear President Biden say, I think in his last speech, he said, still 8.4 million jobs or 8.4 million people are out of work right now compared to before the pandemic. So we're still in a very harsh economic climate and will likely take a while. And most economists say that more stimulus now will pay for itself in the long run. Because if it gets you out of the economic part of the recession or the crisis faster, it will actually pay for itself by even several months or years of not being in that depression or that recession for longer will actually pay for itself with the stimulus now. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'll keep you up to date on everything with the fourth and upcoming stimulus round, as well as a little bit of news on VA checks and for people that haven't gotten their check yet. Paper checks and debit cards in the mail seem to be taking about 10 days. So if the IRS Get My Payment tool is showing April 1st, for example, I wouldn't really expect to see it till around the 10th, because a lot of people are saying these paper checks are just taking about 7 to 10 days to get to you. But I'll keep you up to date a little bit on third stimulus check and garnishments and things like that. But mostly going forward, we'll be covering fourth stimulus check in the upcoming round and all the different possibilities of the fourth round of stimulus. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates. It's completely free to do so. After subscribing, click the bell icon that appears next to the subscribe button and click it to all notifications so you get reminder notifications when we go live, which is every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You won't get a reminder notification for the 11 p.m. video. You just got to remember to show up for that one. I try to cover different aspects of different parts of stimulus, mortgage assistance and rental assistance and student loan forgiveness and Social Security and Medicare and stimulus checks. I cover different stuff in different episodes, so try not to miss many episodes, because when things pertain to you, you'll know the details. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I've had dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. So click on one of those videos next, and I will see you in the next video.